My name is Giovanni Galarza. I'm from Reno, Nevada, born and raised, and I'm an artist, wannabe artist, producer, songwriter. Just pretty much trying to start a record label from the city. That's the goal. Honestly, in every way that I am. Just the streets. I'm not really from the streets. I can't say I've done too much in them. I just try to stay out of them. I don't like trouble, but the way these streets are, and the way you got to kind of maneuver around them, and the stuff you see just makes you fucking think about what goes on in bigger cities. Like if we were in LA or Oakland or stuff like that, man, like those places are crazy. Here, Reno, it's, small time, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes down too. So I don't know. It's just a nice city. There's a lot of stuff to do. Why not? I thought about it one time when I think it was like 2018 in November. Me and my cousin David were just kicking it. We were listening to music. I've always liked music. I've always listened to music. No matter what I'm doing, I had to have music on. No matter whether it was this or that, whether this or that, I had to have music. I had to have some kind of music. And life had to have like a theme music for me. Something had to be playing. And then we were talking about life and like what we wanted to do. And I looked at him and I'm like, hey man, do you think we could ever try like anything with this music stuff? Like I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't think I'm that dumb in the sense that I can't make something like what's on the radio. Like I can't figure out the drums and the ticks and all that stuff. So I asked him, I'm like, you think we could ever do something with it? And he's like, let's try it. So I started writing down, listening to other beats, listening to real music, like stuff with Drake and stuff with ASAP and Kendrick. Those are my people. Father. I like to listen to underground people like Xavier Wolf. Just crazy, gritty stuff that if people look him up, they'll look him up, but it's just a bunch of stuff. So I would listen to their beats and try to write my own words to them and see how it would come out. And then I started spitting it to the boys and, like spitting it to people and see how they liked it. And they'd be like, damn, that sounds nice. So I'm like, all right, if people are reacting like that, and they don't have to, I started recording. I bought a little mic, a blue fucking Yeti mic, man, the cheap little mics, the mics. I got one of them. I had a HP little Chromebook, so a real cheap setup, and I started recording there through a system. And then I started, kind of playing my music and listening to it and showing people, and they're like, all right, it sounds good, keep going. So I was like, all right. I decided to get a better book. I know I got a MacBook now. I bought a better mic. I got some speakers because I wanted to actually hear the bass after everything instead of just having it playing through the computer. And I started investing music into it. And I started making more music, and people started listening to it, and they're like, hey, this sounds good. They're like, this is really you. They're like, who is this? People would say, who the hell's this? And I'm like, that's me. And they're like, what the fuck? So I'm like, alright. So I don't know, man. It just kept me going. I kept going with it and kept going with it. Then I started thinking, can I make my own music? Just like actually compose everything and write it down and get it out and put it out and have people listen to it that aren't just the homies and stuff. So I got in touch with a distribution label, that just like puts your music out. And then we started doing this, and I got a mixtape out now, and people like to listen to it, and I just keep going with it. Just because there's got to be something that comes out of it. Like I said, something's gonna have to happen. There's people on TikTok there's shorties on TikTok that'll shake for fucking whatever song, and boom, the song's just blowing up. So I'm like, it could happen if we make something nice enough with enough rhythm. Who knows? YouTube and asking people and talking to people. I met a lot of people through just talking to them, and I'd be like, so what do you like to do? Because I can kind of tell who's into what, Some people you can just tell what they're into and what they kind of like to do. Some people you can't at all. You'll look at them and be like, oh, this person maybe likes to do this. Then they'll be like, oh, I like to do fucking wrestle, or I like to do this and that. So I would talk to people, and a lot of them would just be like, oh, I like to do this and that. And then there's some that would finally say, oh, I like to make music, or I like to rap, or I like to do this and that. And I'm like, oh, what kind? Me too. Like, what do you do? What's up? And I'm like, I like to make some too. And they're like, oh yeah, let me hear your music. So I show them, and they're like, hey, that's fucking fire. You know, that sounds good. So I'm like, all right, thank you. I guess just from talking to them, someone would be like, hey, let me help you. Or I'd ask them personally. I'd be like, hey, bro, what do you use? What system do you use? How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, can I talk to you? Can I text you? Can I call you? Like, just let me figure it out. And they're like, yeah, for sure, I'll help you out. So a lot of people help me out. There's this buddy I have that lives in Florida, man. This kid was from here. I met him at the mall randomly because I confused him for someone else. And we started talking. We started making music. He started showing me how to make beats. Because this kid's ridiculous. I'll show you later what he plays, man. But this kid makes some stuff. And from then on out, I'm like, damn, bro, if people just put their mind to it, something's got to come out of anything, you know? Like, it's not a waste if you learn something at least. So I would watch everything. I would study this. I got some books, man, like some smaller books that just kind of teach you exactly what to kind of do. And I kind of read up on those, and I'm like, damn, bro, there's infinite things you can do. Like, you'll forever be learning this and that. When you thought you knew it, you don't. You're just like, damn, you're screwed. You know, with anything, with this photography, with this video stuff, man. Just when you thought you had an angle, you move a little more, you're like, hold the hell up, what? So, yeah, man, that's me with this. I'll figure out this, and then I'll switch the noise, and it sounds like something else. Whole new song. Since 2018 now. That's 4 years. Like I said, music, I was always listening to it, but actually making it since like 2018. That's when I started writing down to other people's beats, and then I started trying to make my own beats on this little crappy system on the computer with the keys, with the A and the S and stuff, and I would drag stuff and move it and try to figure it out. And then I'm like, screw that, I know, I need to get something. That's when I started buying money. Oh, that's when I started putting money into it and buying my laptop and buying my beat maker and buying all this stuff. So it's been a lot, but it's been like 3 years, 4 years. It's fun though. My MacBook right now, for sure. Or I want to get a laptop, a gaming laptop, because those suckers have some systems in them, like a whole thing. But right now, just my Mac. I have an MPC, a little beat maker. I'll show you. That's pretty much it, man. Just with that, even with just the laptop, if you pull up the system that you're using, you can click the note, repeat it, drag it on, and you'll make something. But when you have something else to play with, it makes it just fun. I want people to know my name. Not just in the city, but everywhere. I want to be just one of those people that you hear on the radio that made it with one song. Hopefully, and it doesn't stop with the one song. Like, I want them to hear the rest of everything that I've had out, and then hear everything that comes out. And I want to work with people. And I want to make a label out of this city, Reno mainly. Because there's a lot of people here that have nice talent too. So I want to put them on, and I want to make sure everyone eats, and I want to make sure everyone's family can be like, damn, this kid was not wasting his time. Whoever's son it was that was just playing on the damn computer, man, like me. They'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, give me a minute. You'll see. And then they hear the song, and they're like, all right, cool. you weren't messing around, you know? So, yeah, man. We got to make it. We just got to make it somehow. Everyone that's involved has to eat. Even if it's my cousin who just writes songs with me and spits them out that way. There's Shane, who we know, who's this freaking dorky white kid who you'd never think in your life that makes music, but you listen to the stuff he makes and you're like, damn. At first when I heard it, I'm like, this kid's honestly a little better than me. And that made me happy too. I'm like, finally, like, I can learn something from this kid. And then when he told me that I was the godfather of this stuff for him, he's like, hey bro, I wouldn't have even thought about this stuff becoming real if it wasn't for you. So I'm like, alright, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I feel like if I can motivate people the way I motivate myself, honestly, just fucking thinking about how good it's gonna be, hopefully if we do anything with it, then everyone's family's gonna be proud of the kid that's doing something with it. Yeah. My family. That's pretty much it. Really nothing else. My friends, yeah. My people, yeah. The money, yeah, because you need money to eat. The luxury because you want luxury, but mainly just the family stuff, just to make sure that they're good, that I'm good, that I can wake up in the morning in a nice little comfy house that I bought with the money that I made off music, wake up to make music, go see my family, talk to them about that, go kick it with my people and talk to them about music, and then go back to sleep and wake up and make music and do it again and just make music for the rest of my life. That's all I want to do. That's it. Just what goes on in life. It'll be random. There's breakups. There's anything, honestly, man. Just whatever goes down. Sometimes I'll just listen, I'll make the beat, and I'll just start going at it. And I'm like, alright, what can I make with this stupid little kick or this stupid little bass that's going on? And I'll say something dumb, and I'll say something dumb that matches it. And it just comes to you. It's just random words and random stuff. But sometimes, like, I'll be in my head, or I'll be thinking of, you know, a breakup. Just to think about it, I'll just go back and be like, damn, this girl, man, the stuff she did, or whatever, the stuff I did, or this and that. And then I'll just start writing with that. So, it just comes from anywhere. Yeah, you'll pull it from your head, man. It just comes. Pretty much anything except for Apple Music. And that's my own fault because I'm lazy and I suck. We had a song that came out, and the person that I wrote it with had some stuff going on, so I had to take the song down. And because it was already out under my first artist name, they said, hey, you can't take this artist's song because it's already out with them. So if you do that, it would be stealing. But it was me, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll be stealing my own song. So I had to take it down from the first artist to put it up, and then that happened. So I had to drop the whole mixtape completely from Apple, just to make sure that they were the ones that gave me the issue pretty much. They said, hey, you're stealing this song. Spotify said, screw it. There's someone else with it, but go ahead. But yeah, just a bunch of stuff going on. But you can find me anywhere besides Apple Music. And you can do it through DistroKid. That's the distribution label. There's a lot of them. You can honestly just look them up, and they're cheap. Like, it's really, you just have to get in touch with them. You get a plan pretty much, and they tell you what goes on and how you can do this and that, and yeah, how big you want to go too. Like, you know, you pay more, they're gonna do more. You pay this, you're gonna do this. So this year I'm trying to invest more in that way because they get to put more of your music out and do more with it. Yeah, they'll like try to throw you on playlists, which is pretty important in this music stuff. Like, you know, you can have your music out, but if there's no buzz around you, or if you're not on a playlist, whichever kind of playlist, any kind of stupid playlist, people won't be looking through the playlist, you know. They won't be just like, hey, I wonder what this random person's name is, and they're not going to find you. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with it. First, I just like to talk to the people that are here. Like, I'll get them here, and they'll just be talking, and whatever we're talking about, I try to match the energy for it, you know. Like, if someone's like a little hyped because this happened, or if someone's feeling this way because of this, I'm like, all right, let's try to work with that. Let's try to see what's up with it, because that kind of triggers their song making on what they're gonna talk about, you know. Like, if they're a little bummed out or if they're a little excited, then they hear some crazy beat that matches their excitement. They're gonna just start writing some stuff, you know, just some crazy nice stuff. But if you put a sad beat on when the person's feeling hype, they're gonna be like, what the hell do I do? I got too much energy for this. Or, you know, if they're sad and there's some crazy bumping bass in the back, they're like, what do I write about? So I like to talk to them first, match that, start with that, figure it out. Sometimes they already have an idea in their head. They'll pull up and they'll be like, yo, let me try this real quick. Or I found this when I was working by myself. Let me show you. So they put it on, and I'm like, all right, this sounds good. Let's start it. Let's do something with it. And then we'll just keep going with it. And then we make some stuff. That's the sweet part too. That's why I like talking to people. That's why I have happy people. Because without them, I wouldn't know what they're doing. And that idea wouldn't bring a song that we have. You know, there's like a bunch of slow songs that we have. There's a bunch of hype songs that we have that the other person wrote, or they had the lyrics for it, or they had a simple bass line going, and then we just matched it and ran with it. So it's just the whole thing, as long as it takes. People get here, usually the sessions start around 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night when everyone's kind of free-ish. And then they'll go on till 2 if people are tired, 3 if they're not, 4 if they're not, 5 if they're not. I've had people stay here till 6, 7 in the morning just working on the same song, trying to make sure we get that hook down. And we're both looking at it, tired as hell, baggy eyes, but we're like, it's going to be worth it. That's all we think. We're like, yo, something's going to come from this. Even if it's a little buzz, even if it's anything, just something's coming, you know? It'll be worth it. Yeah, man. They go on forever. It's a song called Living Better. And it just pretty much talks about living better. Later on, if anything, we'll get a clip of it so people can like listen to it a little bit or they can look it up. But yeah, man. I don't know why. It's not even my beat. It's just my lyrics. The stuff I say and I'm like, alright. I just talk about living better, man. Just the better things to come. Pretty much, yeah. That's my favorite one. Like I said, man, I do a lot of underground. But there are people that are coming up too. So there's this one guy named Father who makes some crazy, crazy songs. I Love McConan. Did you ever hear that one, Tuesday with Drake?
I don't think
It's a real crazy slow song-ish. But it's just weirdish people, man. Xavier Wolf is one of them. Kendrick Lamar, of course. J. Cole, Kid Cudi. People that, you know, everyone likes, I like too. And there's a lot of people when it comes to other kinds of genres, man, I like The Strokes. That's my favorite anything. That's my favorite band, that's my favorite artist, that's my favorite everything. Those people are like, that's the only vinyl I own ever on anything, because I don't give a crap about owning anything else. This is The Strokes, man. This is their newest album. And those people, the main singer is this guy named Julian Casablancas, man. Some crazy, I think he's British or something, man. Just long-haired dude. And I'm like, what the hell? So it just goes from there. I listen to the Arctic Monkeys. I listen to Tame Impala. I'm pretty sure everyone listens to Tame Impala at this point. There's people like Chicano Batman. That's like, that's when you're mixing indie with Chicanos, with Mexican people, man. Like, they throw in their own wavy vibes into it, man. There's this kid named Kuko. There's people like Isaiah Rashad. I can go on forever. But yeah, man. I'm inspired a lot by everyone. Everyone has their own flavor where I'm just like, oh, how do you do that? Like, what's in your mind when you think of this shit? Yeah, man, I don't know. There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, you can come talk to me, man. Straight up, I'll help you out. I have a studio right here. You'll see it. You can come work with me. I'll help you out in any way that I can. Investigate, look your stuff up. Make sure you just keep going with everything. Don't stop. Don't let things bring you down. I get down all the time, bro. I'm like, what am I doing wasting my time? Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing wasting my existence thinking I'm about to make it? Who do I think I am? That I'm going to get famous and people are going to know me. But then I listen to my music or other people listen to it and they'll talk to me and I'm just like, dude, something's going to have to happen. Like, I put so much time and so much energy and I love this so much. Even if nothing happens, I know I made some good music, you know? I can be like, I made stuff that wasn't crap at least. Or that people can tell me truthfully. I've asked them, I'm like, hurt my feelings, bro. Tell me how this is. I'll show anyone, older people, younger people, moms, dad, I'll talk to them and they'll want to be like, hey, what are you doing? This is what I'm doing. And all of them will bless up, give me a positive feedback. They'll all be like, hey, man, this sounds crazy. It sounds nice. This is you. This is what. No one has told me like, hey, man, this is shit. What is this? What are you doing? So that's what kind of keeps me going, man. That people around me like it. They know that I'm taking it serious. I know I'm taking it serious. You know, I have a lot of faith in it. I just feel that something's just going to come from anything, man. You just got to keep doing it. So don't stop. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're on the good path. You'll be alright. Even if you think you're not, you're going to be good. I want to get famous. I want to become a rock star. Who knows? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then I know I did what I had to. So, you'll be alright. We're all going to do some. We're all going to make it.